invited you
So
here.
Amber.
We invited you here because.
And Mikey, how are you?
I know, long time no see.
Yeah.
We wanted to just, chat with you informally. Obviously, I don't know if you've seen commandN yet, but we try to talk about tech trends and random stuff.
I have seen it. I love it. Yeah.
Very
I'm really
cool.
proud of you guys for doing it.
You were actually a big supporter of us because initially we showed you the video. Remember on the set we were like, should we show it to Leo? Should we show it to Leo?
Great.
And then you saw it and you gave us lots of encouragement to keep going.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's really good.
Good.
This is what this whole thing is about. It's people doing their own thing. Except for Kevin. He shouldn't be doing his own thing. That's another story.
That's another story.
Save that for another day. I'm just mad because he's #1 on Podcast Alley.
It's a big competition now.
Well, maybe we can beat him out now.
Yeah, what if we beat him out?
Yeah.
How would that fare?
See, I don't know. For some reason, I wouldn't mind if you beat us.
Yeah.
But I don't want Kevin to beat us.
So maybe people at home should vote for us.
Yeah,
Podcast.
Can we vote for a video on Podcast
Oh,
Alley?
yeah, we're on podcast. Yeah, Brian got us on there, so you could vote for us.
I'd like to make this statement right now. Stop voting for Twit. Stop voting for Dignation. Let's have peace among the warring parties. Vote for commandN.
Thank you.
That'll solve that.
We'll unite them all.
It's like, yeah, you're like Switzerland.
Yeah, we are Switzerland.
Yeah.
I really thought of that.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we wanted to talk to you about a little bit today.
Switzerland?
Yeah, Switzerland. We've been thinking about going
What do you
to
think of
Geneva.
Switzerland?
That's the name of the maid who helps me with my leg, as a matter of fact.
We were kind of focused before, but now it's...
No, okay, so you were going to ask me a question.
Oh no, we were going to just talk about, actually along the same lines of what you're talking about in terms of just, trends with podcasting and vidcasts and those types of things, and just kind of, we had an informal chat at lunch today. Mikey and I were saying that you had lots of neat thoughts in terms of the future of podcasting.
Yeah, but I can't remember what the hell I said. What was I talking? What were you talking about?
Well,
I'm not entirely sure.
You don't
See,
remember?
none of us remember. It's the chicken's wrap that really...
Chicken wrap.
The Epicurean Cafe or
Without
whatever?
a chicken wrap, I can't.
I kind of remember. Do you want me to give you
Yes,
a
would you tell me what I said?
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was really good. We were talking basically about, the future of television on the web.
Right.
And where we'd be going. We got into a conversation that I think we ended up talking about porn at one point, but that's not really what it was focused on. I was hoping it would kick in about this point.
Well, no, because there is that issue of why porn hasn't kind of taken off on podcasts and video podcasts and all that stuff. Nobody's doing that. And there's a few sexy podcasts. I'm thrilled, frankly. I mean, I think in a way that bodes well for the medium. It means that people are more interested in content than they are in show.
Oh, for sure. And we also talked a little bit about how podcasting seems to be in the news everywhere lately.
I've never seen anything take off so fast in my life. That's one thing we were talking about at lunch, was it's unusual to see a technology be so quickly and easily adopted. Some technologies, they fight, like blogging. Never, reading news in a blog, it's popular, but it never really replaced magazines or newspapers. For some reason, I think podcasting is rapidly replacing listening to talk radio for a lot of people, and it was almost an instantaneous transition. We were talking about TiVo and how that does that, a personal video recorder.
Exactly.
Where some people would still rather watch a show live. That's kind of part of the thing is, you sit down, and watch Big Brother, and everybody's watching Big Brother at the same time.
He likes that example. Very nice.
I was in Italy, it's I Fratello Grande. Or Canadian Idol or American Idol or whatever. And that's true, there are some live shows where you want to be watching it with everybody else. I think Canadian Idol is a really good example of that. But more and more people with PVRs don't like that. They want to be able to watch it whenever they want to watch it. And
watch it more than once.
And that happened to you. You get conditioned. And it didn't take long, did it?
Nope.
I mean, how long did it take you to go from being a live TV watcher to a...
Maybe a month.
Yeah.
Not even that, maybe.
And then you can't go back.
Exactly.
And podcasting is, I think, somewhat like that, and I think it's related to that because it's the same idea of controlling your media, of listening to it when you want to listen to it. So the same people who quickly got the idea of a personal video recorder and like that idea are gravitating to podcasts for the same reason. And I've always compared it to TiVo. It's very similar. It's the idea is you subscribe to something and you get it, and it's on your hard drive, and you listen to it at your leisure. And that's kind of what's happening.
Yeah, we were talking today too about how there are maybe up to 10,000 podcasts on iTunes right now.
That blows my mind. I mean, for a while the number Adam Curry was batting around was 5,000, and everybody I know said, yeah, maybe, not really. That's the number everybody uses. It's more like 1,000 active podcasts, but maybe not. Maybe there really are, thousands and thousands of them.
Well, you can see how easily it can happen because all you can take is your Mac computer.
So easy to do.
And you can record a podcast instantly. Yeah. It's kind of a thing.
But in a way, it's easier than doing a blog, but in the long run, it's much harder than doing a blog. There are so many issues. You have to address the issue of production. You have to know how to do audio production somewhat. People are realizing now it's not just as easy as turning on a microphone. The bigger issue is you've got to face bandwidth and publicity and all that stuff. And it's harder. It's not as easy as just setting up a blog and hoping people come to see it. It is, I think in the long run, it's a more difficult thing.
Yeah.
Which is okay. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just a different medium.
I would suspect right now, too, what's happening a lot is that it's so easy to create your own podcast that a lot of people right now, because it's kind of trendy, so a lot of people are creating their own podcast, and they're not going to do it. Yeah, exactly. They're not going to do it regularly. And then at the end, after this kind of, after a few months or maybe a couple of years or something like that, it'll kind of shake out a little bit, and then there'll be those people who are still there doing it and doing a really good job.
I think that's right. I think that's right. And I think in the long run, you're going to see there's going to be really only a handful of podcasts that are really substantial podcasts. I hope we're one of them. You guys will be one of them, for sure. There's no question in my mind.
Well, go together, right?
Yeah, you're going to be number one on Podcast Alley now.
Any day now.
Please, stop voting for me. Stop voting for Kevin. Vote for commandN on Podcast Alley.
Yeah, your weekly...
It doesn't take that much. I mean, 1,000 votes, you'd be number one.
Yeah, that's all we need.
That's all you need, 1,000 votes, please. We beg of you.
And every vote counts.
Please.
Every vote counts.
Vote now. Podcast Alley.
No, don't vote now. Watch the end of the show and then
you can do both. That's the beauty of this, right? You can have this running in a window, right?
That's true.
Your browser's already open. I know it is, man. Podcastalley.com.
And imagine how many friends you might have on Messenger, or you could just send the link to them. It's interesting too, I think, with Odeo. I've heard a lot of people talk about Odeo and iTunes and all these different services that allow you to publish their blog. I wonder who's going to be around kind of at the end of the day.
Well, Ev, if anybody is around, it's going to be Ev. He's a very smart guy. Odeo is exactly what needs to be done. There are a couple of people doing it well. I think Podnova, Odeo, they both have the same idea, which is a directory of podcasts that it's like blog lines with blogs that you subscribe to in one centralized place to kind of maintain them. It's got to ultimately be a grid like your PVR is, or your cable TV.
Yeah.
It's got to be a grid of podcasts, of shows, and you click, and I think that's what will happen. And then the beauty of Odeo and the beauty of blog lines and the beauty of Podnova is you put a badge on your site.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That makes it very easy for somebody to subscribe. They don't have to know anything. They press the button.
Yeah. It's like you can do that with iTunes as well, the iTunes podcast, the one click.
Yeah, I just figured that out, that you actually have a URL.
Yeah.
So, are you doing that? Do you
put
a
actually, Frank from TechFile emailed me today, and he said you might want to put this on your site, this little button, so it can be one click. You can subscribe to commandN in the
does it do a subscription, or does it open up your
It
window?
opens us up within iTunes,
right.
So it's really not one click. It's actually two clicks, because you have to click it to
what
get there.
I'd like to figure out, and I bet you can, is a one click, where it opens it up and subscribes.
At the same time. Yes.
Some scripting probably.
I would think,
PHP
JavaScript.
Probably.
No, because it'd have to be client side, so probably some sort of JavaScript. The problem is, and this is, I'm just fighting with iTunes all day, last 2 days, that Apple does not tell anybody how they're doing anything. And it's not at all an open system as most of these good systems are, where there's, like Google has an SDK and they expose it and they allow you to do stuff. And Apple just doesn't do that, and it's really a shame.